Look at that. A Gen X chicks, and they are delusional as all get out. Guys, I would have to say, these are the chicks that got divorced, right? Listen.
Hi, my name is Lynn, and I am coming to you with my first TikTok video. I did use a filter, which is making me feel better about myself, and I'll work.
John James, yeah, that's because they're Asian. They're Japanese and Filipino. They take care of themselves. And then, what is it? Asian don't raisin, black don't crack, and brown sticks around. You know what I'm saying? Guys, you guys know who aged the worst of these British chicks? Guys, these British chicks age like goat milk. You know what I'm saying?
Work on that, hopefully just go filter free at some point. I am 63 years old. I'm an artist. I am single. I did have children. I did have a marriage in the Wayback Machine. I'm passionate about a lot of things, and I'm going to share everything I know and don't know around being over 60, single and dating, pursuing my passion for painting, still trying to pay the mortgage, and healing from trauma as well.
There it is. There it is, guys. There it is right there. Healing from trauma. Look at that, guys. Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Absolutely cooked, man. So, guys, out of the boomers and then the older Gen X, guys, what do you think, right? Because, guys, this chick right here, think about what she just said, right? She's saying the exact same thing that a 30-year-old would say. Or 40-year-old. I had a marriage, I had some kids, I have trauma. Guys, she's 63 years old. Does this seem like, guys, think about your grandma when she was, like when you were young, when you were like 15 and your grandma was like 55 or something. Was she anything like this? You know? Was she anything like this at all? We live with the most youth-obsessed, self-centered, knuckleheaded, moronic, idiotic, anti-life, anti-family, goofball group of women that have ever lived. And this is where things went off the rails, was right around Gen X, man. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, guys. The craziest part about it is millennials and Gen Z women are just not getting married. But Gen X got married and they're getting divorced. So they had the marriage. They actually had the marriage and had the kids. Whereas millennial chicks are just saying, they're saying to hell with them, with the whole marriage. They're going to all be single moms.
You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
Cruising. Gen X is the best of men, right? We're the best men. Yeah, we are. I would say boomers and Gen X men, right? Because, guys, boomer guys were the guys who worked at the plant. You know what I'm saying? They were the last ones that benefited from that classic old school mindset. But us Gen X guys, right? We were the first ones to actually start bucking the trend. You know? To actually realize that something's wrong. And it was a hard road, ice skating uphill for a lot of us Gen X guys to realize that something was going on.
As cooking.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. So she's doing all of her, I'm so pretty. I'm so beautiful. At 60. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, here we go.
So hi, everybody. I am trying to figure out what the actual fuck is going on. I am trying to do online dating.
Now, guys, out of all these chicks, all these Gen X chicks, okay, so guys, we're getting so I'm going by women in their 70s, the 60s, 50s, and 40s, okay? So, guys, this is Gen X. We're going to go down to the 50s, right? And they're going to talk about dating in their 50s. Guys, what percentage of these chicks do you think will be divorced? Right? Instead of never married. I would say 99% of them were all divorced. So they had a guy, they had a good guy, and they left him, and now they're out here. You know what I'm saying? John Smith says that intelligent black men marry Asian, white, Latin. Yeah, facts. Well, I think all men should marry Asian, white, Latin in that order. White guys, black guys, anyone. If you were smart enough, guys, you would do this, you know? So
I've been single for 7 years. I'm
single for 7 years. And she's in her 60s, guys. Look at that.
60 years old. But I have been stood up 3 weeks in a row.
Look at that. 3 weeks in a row. Look at that. And guys, Gray Fox Chad is not playing. A Gray Fox Tyrone, he's not playing, guys. Guys, who in here is in their late 50s and 60s and early 60s? Put a 1, guys. Out or here, put your age. If you're in your late 50s or early 60s, right? Hell yeah, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Look at that. Yeah, so I know Steve. Steve, you're in your 60s? I believe. Because so Marcus says Steve Pocket's 58. I think Steve is like 60. David. Guys, all you guys, Vintage is 71. Okay, guys, all you guys, okay? Guys, I want you to let me know if you would ever, just put a yes or a no, if you would ever date a chick that's near your age. I'm talking even spend time with, like go and have dinner with, have sex with. I'm talking go for a romantic walk with. Would you ever waste your time doing so? Ever? Kevin says, no, that was fast. He said, no fucking way. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that. Guys, all of these guys are all Gen X. Older Gen X guys, right? No, and no. Never. And guys, this is the thing. These chicks honestly think that they have their pick, that they're somehow in high demand. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Clayton. Yeah, she has crazy eyes, man. She has crazy eyes, guys. Look at that right there. And look at that, guys. And guys, here's the thing. They don't realize that they are competing with girls that are half their age. There are girls that are 25, 26, 30 who have some serious daddy issues who would bang, who would go for all these guys. You know what I'm saying? Cruising, Clayton, Vintage, David Graham. There are some 30-year-olds with daddy issues with your name on it. Straight up, dude. Vibing. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. So
2 times from guys on Match and once from a work colleague. So I need some suggestions from you guys. I need to figure out what is going on. The one guy, we talked for like an hour and a half on the phone and we were going to meet, and then he sends me a message the next night and says that we have a lot of similarities, but we're dissimilar too. And I don't think I'm ready to date. And I think I don't want to go out with you. And then I look on the match site and his profile's still up. So
Look at that. He was like, you know what? It isn't worth the effort to get some dried up old vag. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, father says, here's some advice. Give up. Facts.
He says he doesn't want to date anymore, but he's still got his profile up. And then today I had a date. The guy even texted me and said, can we meet an hour earlier? And I was like, no, I've got plans. I'm going to church and I will meet you there right after. And he just sent me a text message that said he's helping his mother and it's taking longer than he thought and he will have to get a rain check. So I was like, okay, who can be upset about a man that's helping his mom? So just get hold of me when you're available. And you would think he'd be like, well, how about Wednesday of next week? Or how about next Sunday? But nope. He's like, thanks for being a sweetheart. And I appreciate it. And that was that. And then the guy from work we had plans for a week. And then the day off just decides that he's got a more important meeting. So
Steve, what's up, dude? Unsupervised, what's going on, my friend? Adam A, what's going on? Snowboard, dude. These old desperate broads, dude. What is going on? These chicks trying to date in their 60s, bro.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Guys, man,
Jeez.
just play the funeral march. You know what I'm saying? They are cooked.
Who wants to put butter on a croissant anyways? It's kind of gross.
It's just gross. And they're just so and they're so delusional, right? Well, here, I'm gonna ask you first. What generation of women do you think is the worst? As far as like if you were like a 55-year-old guy, right? And you were making money, right? In decent shape, had a nice vet, you know what I'm saying? And you had 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and 60-year-olds. Who's you like? What do you think would actually be the worst? Worst to the best.
Millennials, I still think, are just their attitude just sucks. So, and I think Gen Z is a little younger. The girls would be kind of hotter.
Yeah, because guys, look, we all know that guys, all of us have standards, but as guys, if they're hot enough, some of those standards go out the window, right? You guys say, I would never smash a single mom, but guys, you're out at the bar, you know what I'm saying? Some 9 walks up to you, you know what I'm saying? You're a little bit tipsy. You go home, right? You freaking...
then they tell you like a week later that they're a single mom after you've hung out a few times. That's happened to me before. And you had no idea.
Yeah, and then like the 3rd or 4th date, she tells you because she wants to actually smash. You're like, do I just go along with this so I can smash? And guys, come on, you guys don't lie. Most of you guys have gone back to her house, smashed, and then hit her with the.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
100%, yeah.
You know, but I would say that
I would say no one gets down harder than a single mom when she doesn't have her kids around. She gets crazy.
Yeah.
They're more crazy than a party girl for some reason. Yeah. They get nuts. So there is an upside a little bit to that.
Yeah, but I would say like Gen X chicks are cooked because a lot of them were divorced. Their generation, like Gen X chicks, actually did the quote unquote right thing and got married, but then during their marriage got the feminist brainwashing even more and divorced their husbands, whereas millennial chicks never really got married in the first place.
Yeah.
So they made the decision to just be dumb and like not attach themselves to a guy. And then their choices led them to being never married in their early 40s. Whereas these chicks, they all had husbands. They all had a family unit, and they broke it because they're a bunch of morons.
Yeah.
So what do you think is worse?
Some Gen X women had actually a pretty good mindset, and they were, pretty traditional and stuff. But that's rare, and that has been ruined because once they had a divorce, they started hitting the streets.
Yeah.
And now they're just as much same thing as a millennial.
Yeah. They're just older. And once they get back out of, but here's the thing, that we have the most youth obsessed generation ever, right? So these chicks that are in these Gen X chicks, they listen to the same music as the millennials.
Yeah.
They dress the same, they talk the same. They're all at Taylor Swift's
Snapchat and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, but in a way, they do have access to a lot of the same men because of dating apps and stuff.
That's what they think.
I'm saying the illusion of that. The illusion of it.
Any Gray Fox Chad is going to be smashing millennial chicks. He's not going to be smashing no Gen X.
For sure, yeah.
And once again, guys, what do I always say? This is the first time in history where 55-year-old chicks are competing for the same men as 25-year-old chicks.
Yeah.
When my mom was young, when you were 40 or 50, you were out the game, and you stayed out the game.
Yeah.
When my grandma, she was young, you weren't trying to be out here being no 40-year-old chick, trying to be dating.
It's not classy. It's kind of garbage. It is. It's just. It is really strange.
I remember all.
Oh my god!
I've done all these chicks on a video.
So how's everybody doing today? Happy Saturday.
Jesus Christ! This chick looks like the crypt keeper, dude. Look at that.
Jesus.
About
Hey guys, who wants a gum job?
Oh my god. Yeah. An indentured servant job.
Oh no, guys, make sure to hit the like.
Oh man, her snatch smells like a Werther's original.
Is that those like old people candies?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know what those are.
It smells like licorice down there, like black licorice. Yeah, that's that old person.
Oh no, guys, we have 104 people watching. Guys, we have 52 likes. Guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. I'd appreciate that. Guys, hit the join button for memberships. Hit the super chat button, and guys, thanks for all you guys that have been hitting up the Cash App. Yeah, thanks for that, guys. Thanks so much. Guys, we'll look at one more 60-year-old, and then we'll look at the 40-year-olds. Because the 40-year-old,
that's the gateway age where they think everything is possible. Still.
Yeah, well, here, snowboard. Here, what do you think is the Pocket Lint says she can't wait to get out of her Depends.
Oh my god.
Snowboard, what do you think is that hardcore date that a woman, that age where after that, dating wise, a woman's cooked?
38, perhaps.
I think it's 34. Because think about the difference, guys. A 30-year-old, think about how young that a 30-year-old still is and how old a 39-year-old is, right? Think about that. 34 is still enough time to where they can that baby rabies is just kicking in, and they're like not into that jaded, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, and they can somewhat try and compromise that effness crap. You know what I'm saying? But once they hit 35, 36, they're cooked. They're cooked.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah. For sure.
I would say that 34 is that magic age.
I think that's a good point. I would agree with that.
George says you forgot about His MILF fetish. Banging a MILF in a race car bed on some old goldfish is a dream, bro. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh
can
yeah,
make it-
absolutely. And I want my medication, and I want my croutons, please.
George
Guys,
wants those dino nuggets.
what is that? I want fish because they're so delicious. Waterstar says to marry or start a family. Guys, to marry, if you're older than, as a woman, older than like 26, 27, you're cooked.
Yeah.
Right? You're basically cooked. Anything past mid-30s, and it's impossible, right? But I would say that you're basically cooked. Like, you should...
Well,
past 27, chicks should basically, like, they're at Value Village. Like, if any guy proposes, they need to say yes. So...
yeah, because their body can still look hot and all that, but their mind is and attitude and maybe even like spiritually or whatnot, they don't like men or want to cooperate with a man because they would have
worse.
They would have
they get older. Yeah, because
so that's kind of what it is. You can't really. I think they say once you're like 35, your like mindset is basically kind of like locked in.
Well, snowboard. Here's another thing too. You don't hear a lot of 28-year-olds talking to 45-year-olds, right?
No.
But you hear a lot of 37 and 38-year-olds talking to 45-year-olds.
Yeah, because they wised up a little bit.
Man hating, we hate men. They're where all the men are trash stuff. There's a feedback loop between the 35 and up chicks and the 50-year-olds that are single and worthless. You know what I'm saying? They're dragging them into their void, whereas the 28-year-old chicks, 29-year-old, 30-year-old chicks, they're still hot. They're still going out there with their girlfriends. They're still getting drinks from guys.
Traveling.
Yeah. So like once they hit that 34, 35, because what happens is that a lot of girls that are single 35, they hang out with older chicks that are worthless because all their friends that are worth a damn got married and had kids.
Yeah.
So now they're single, drinking wine, and no one but the friggin' cat lady down the street has any time to hang out. And it's all these damn men, these pieces of trash. You know what I mean?
And they didn't want to be a mother.
Yes.
Like some people think it's an honor to want to be a mom, and that's a good thing.